2015 looks better than Payback, right? Need for Speed 2015 on the PC. I think I'm actually getting beeped out. Am I blocking the road? Where was that beep from? There is no denying that 2015 is definitely one of the best looking games ever created. It looks stunning. The environment, the cars, the wetness of the cars. But do you know why it always rained in Need for Speed 2015? Well, that was because it wanted to look better. You can obviously reflect lighting much better when there's rain. Otherwise, you can't really reflect it. As you can see, the reflection stops when there's no rain. It's a common trick when you see E3 press conferences. Look out for rain on the roads, and you will see that it definitely looks better. Watch Dogs, back in the day when that was announced, and it was basically the most graphically amazing game ever, it had rain everywhere because that looks good. Does 2015 actually look that good? Yeah, of course it does. I mean, overall, it looks like a fantastic game. But does it look better than Payback? Now, this is where we get to a crossroads. Most people would jump to say yes, because, I mean, technically, yes, it does. It looks more visually appealing to the eye. So I thought, obviously, jump on PC, max out the settings. This is what we got. We might get some frame rate dips, but that's all right, because we're here looking at the visual fidelity of the game. Now, you may know that this game is set as nighttime only. There are different areas in the game that allow us to see a little bit more light, but overall, it is a nighttime-based game. You're not going to see a lot of the color. You're not going to see a lot of everything because it's all dictated by the street lights. And it had a mostly baked lighting system in where you can go to different areas. As I said, you can find different lighting, but overall, the lighting was set. There was no sun dynamically going over and changing the lighting of the area. That area's lighting was set in that area. Up in the mountains is probably one of the more important areas to show you when it comes to showing you the visual fidelity of the game. So let's jump into Snapshot Pro, get an idea. You can see the textures are pretty decent. They're in no way amazing. There's not much grass. It's actually no grass at all other than these little bits everywhere. And the texture starts to get really janky pretty quickly. Now, obviously, we can't move the camera too far out the area, and, you know, that makes sense. You should only be able to see, we should only judge it based on what we can actually see. But the actual mountains and stuff, there isn't much foliage on them. They're pretty bare basic, and that's not something you can really get away with when there's a lot more light. I think that's 2015 for now. The roads look amazing. The environment, not so much. Don't get me wrong, you still get amazing views like this, but close up, Payback. Instantly less appealing to the eye. There isn't as much going on, especially this area. I feel like this is one of the low quality areas of this game. There's definitely some nicer areas, and then obviously in 2015 we were starting in the nicest area, so I think it's only fair that we make our way to one of those, because this definitely doesn't do it for anyone. But this is one of the more visually appealing areas of the map. As you very clearly see, it looks pretty nice, actually. It doesn't really have that same shine to it, and obviously that main reason is because there's no rain. There's no rain whatsoever available on this. The reason they didn't have rain, I remember them saying early on in development, is because they wanted to have more, you know, AI, have more characters driving around, like cars driving around. Obviously, the people along here take up quite a little bit of resources, again, which is another reason as to why there was no weather. But ultimately, it's Vegas, so they thought, we can get away with it. The texture of the roads do seem a little bit worse. And again, we're on ultra settings on here. As you can tell, my frame rate is dipping a little bit. And that is mainly because this game ultimately has a lot more going on. You can see a lot more, so they can't get away with the same things that they did on 2015. So if we go over and look over here, you can see everything looks pretty well detailed in a distance. We've got rocks over there. Instead of just a flat texture, you've got to have some trees and bushes. So however low quality they are, the more things they add, the more strain there is on the game. This type of rock and tree-ness in the background would not be in 2015, and that's because it was so dark that you didn't have to see that stuff. Moving on to one of the more visually insane areas, consider this. How many trees are here? How many? Yet they still got really good textures on the walls here and on the buildings. The road textures, again, don't seem as good, but that might just be because of the reflections in the roads. Normally on 2015, you would just have the rain cover up any bad textures. But look at all the trees in the distance. Now, obviously, they've got away a little bit here without having too many rocks and stuff, because the trees, from a distance, you're going fast usually, you can't really see it. But even still, there are some rocks sticking out and everything. I feel like this is a really nerdy video, a lot more visually done to make it actually look better. They kind of dug themselves into a hole because we can't visually improve on a game that is solid nighttime only and has rain constantly. Now, luckily, there is one special way to jump into 2015 and pretty much not remove the rain, but remove some of the things that limit it. For example, the time of day. That hides everything. I'm about to reveal it to you. Load this from Le Crown. Back to the game, we can see that daytime is definitely not on the side of this game. The shadows, the textures, and everything are definitely made for nighttime only. But let's go have a look, see a nice leisurely drive in my NSX at some of these textures. I'm about to expose 2015. So the textures only have to react to one set of lighting, so they didn't really, I guess, make it react. It's literally baked into the textures to have that dark little tinty look. Have a look at some of these buildings then, shall we? These are buildings that you can basically get up next to. It's weird because everything still has that dark tint. You can see the trees are just made to be that one black color. They're not made to react to light. The lighting is baked so they don't have to react. So the texture is designed for that. Don't get me wrong, it still doesn't look really bad. Oh, I never even noticed Plants vs. Zombies. Here we are in a green area. Obviously, I did a green area in Need for Speed Payback, so I'm going to do a green area in 2015. It's only fair. I just jumped to the garage. This area actually looks pretty good. But let's stop. I meant to use the brake there for a second and go into Snapshot Pro mode. So let's have a look-see. So we do have some green around here, obviously, because it is right next to the road. You'll be able to see some effect of that. The green is a little bit off because, again, it's made for this set lighting. But if we do have a further look down, the textures, again, are pretty darn flat. One of the major points is textures in the background. Obviously, they don't need to be properly textured until you get super close, which means the direct area around you can be processed really, really well. This is like a very basic non-developer explanation of how it goes on, but look at this tree, man. Again, in the distance, not much detail whatsoever. It's just black. There's nothing there. It's just flat texture after flat texture. Oh, flat texture. Who would have thunk it? Something obviously also really important is the car texture, which I haven't even mentioned about yet. So obviously we've got the rain particles on it, which I actually really like, to be honest with you. I kind of hope they come back in the next game. But overall, you can see the car. It looks really weirdly lit. Oh, to say that. It looks really weirdly lit. And that is because, again, it is actually a gloss paint. But because the lighting is not made to see anything other than the nighttime effect, it doesn't react properly to what they have set up in this game. It's all super interesting. I don't know if this video is actually going to get any interest or people are interested in anything like this, but I am a super geek when it comes to game trickery and stuff. That's what games are all about. It's about tricking and trying to get the most out of what you have, and Ghost did a fantastic job in my opinion with both games. This game obviously looks, as standard, more visually appealing, but it makes you realize in other games why Gran Turismo, for example, went to baked lighting opposed to dynamic. But all of this is very, very fascinating, but I would love to know what you think of it. Again, if you want to see me do more videos like this, let me know. Oh my god. Ah! I'm trying to turn the camera. Look, there's just nothing to the distance. Absolutely nothing. Because they can do that. What is that? It's just a random tree. Genuinely, it's crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy when you properly pull away the curtain and you have a look. A magician has revealed his trick. Be sure to smash like, subscribe if you are new. I'm so looking forward to 2019. I cannot wait to see where they go. Obviously, they said that they're going for more of a 2015 vibe for the next game. So that, to me, basically says that they're going more for underground kind of street racing illegal thing. We're going to see dynamic lighting return because people did demand and beg for the consideration of adding daytime to Payback. People wanted it, so they provided. Let me know down in the comments, did this open your eyes, or is this just a waste of a video and you just looked at me looking at graphics for a whole 10 minutes? I will see you in the next video. Peace.